Yawning, burping, and sneezing during davening. So while one is in the midst of davening, he is standing before the Almighty, standing in front of Hashem, pouring his heart, asking for different things that he needs. What does halacha state regarding yawning, burping, or sneezing during this time period of prayer? So we have an explicit Gemara in Maseches Brachos Daf Chof Daled Amud Beis, and it's recorded in the Shulchanaruchharav, in the Mechaber 97.1 and the Alter Rebbe 97.1. Now one may not burp or yawn during davening, and one who willingly does so is considered a haughty individual. The term used in the Gemara in Shulchanaruch is tefillah. Tefillah refers specifically to Shemana Esrei. So the above halacha applies specifically to Shemana Esrei, that during Shemana Esrei, whether Shachris, Mincha, or Ma'ariv, one may not burp or yawn willingly. During other parts of davening, it is not halachically forbidden, even though it may not be appropriate to purposely do so. Now what do you do if in the middle of Shemana Esrei you get an urge to yawn or to burp? So the Aruch HaShulchan writes that if you're able to control it, you have to control it. If you're not able to control it, then it's considered a case of anus, where what do you want? There's nothing you can do. He has to yawn, he has to burp. It's not a question of whether is it allowed or not allowed. He doesn't have a choice. Nonetheless, the Gemara writes, and it's recorded in the Alter Rebbe, in the Mechaber, in the Shulchan Aruch, that he's to place his hand over his mouth in order so his open mouth not be apparent to others. It's improper to yawn in the middle of davening and show everyone the person's big mouth. So you're supposed to cover it. We understand it's not controllable. Cover the mouth. Regarding whether this applies likewise to a burp, if the mouth is to be covered with one's hand, so there's a major debate in the Poskim regarding this. Some say by a burp one is to cover with his hand. Others say that's not necessary. If you can't control it, in any event, there's not much of the mouth that's being opened that needs to be covered. And practically, it's best to be stringent and to cover the mouth, even regarding a burp. Once again, all this is in reference to the midst of Shemana Esrei. Some say one is to use his right hand to cover his mouth. While one is in the midst of yawning, he should not continue saying the words of Shemana Esrei. He should stop until he's finished. So writes the Makar Chaim of the Chavas Yair. And this halacha of covering the mouth applies even if one is davening in private, not in front of other people, as even though ideally the reason of covering the mouth so other people don't see one's mouth open, since one is in front of the Shechina during Shemana Esrei, it is respectable to cover the mouth even when he is alone. Regarding sneezing, so is one allowed to sneeze during Shemana Esrei, or if it's uncontrollable, which is usually the case, do you have to cover your mouth when you do so? It's actually brought down in the Gemara in Brachos, the same area 24b, recorded in the Shulchanaruch and the Mechaber 1033, and in the Alter Rebbe 1033, that sneezing during Shemana Esrei is a good sign. And the explanation is, as sneezing is pleasant for a person, it's enjoyable. And just as Hashem is giving him a pleasant pleasure down here, so too it's an omen that above in heaven God is giving him his blessing, his will, his pleasantness, and fulfilling his requests. So sneezing during Shemana Esrei is a good sign. Nonetheless, it is common etiquette, common manners to cover the mouth even during sneezing, even though we're discussing that it's a good sign. Even not during Shemana Esrei, one is to do so. And so is implied from the Yerushalmi that also during sneezing, one is to cover his mouth.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at www.Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many Sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.